Minister Lamola says government has chosen not to retaliate against a 30% US tariff due to the complexity of the geopolitical environment. He says it is unfortunate that government's efforts in resetting the relationship with the US has been undermined by some actors within South African society. Lamola says the economy is at stake and that negotiations have to be approached in a measured and responsible way.
It is not out of cowardice that we have refrained from responding even under very extreme provocation. It was because of our understanding of the complexity of the geo-environment, because we are talking about the livelihoods and jobs of people that are at stake. So that's why we're focused on the ball, on the negotiations, on the framework, and we did not want to focus on the speculations, whether it's because of BEE or affirmative action or any other politics that has not been brought to the negotiation table. So we focus on what we have presented to the US government, and we believe we're dealing with that. We have yet the speculations from those that have visited Washington who have told us that these are the issues that they were told. But those issues are not in the feedback and what we have on the table with regards to the framework that we have submitted.
30,000 jobs are said to be at risk, with the economy projected to lose 0.2% growth.
We base this on the ongoing consultations that we have with all the sectors of the economy, from automotive, agriculture, and all the other sectors that are going to be impacted. And at this stage, we are sitting at approximately 30,000 jobs that could be affected by this if it were to be mismanaged in any manner. But we are looking at 30,000 jobs that could be affected at this stage.
Some of the proposed interventions include the establishment of an export support desk, measures to assist companies to absorb the tariff, using the localization support fund to provide targeted competitiveness and efficiency support, an export and competitive support program, as well as working with the Department of Labor on measures to mitigate potential job losses.
We are currently modeling with the localization support fund what structure of support they would give. We're not suggesting that every aspect of localization would be located in the localization support fund. Now, I'm emphasizing that because you would say, well, they have so many billion in their account, therefore this is what it implies. But you have to model it in line with other products in the support package that you provide to determine what role they would play. The fact that the localization support fund is on board, the Department of Labor is on board in terms of modeling different support packages, seeks to mitigate the impact of these decisions. But some of the numbers that have been announced, I think we need to be careful, and we are very careful in finalizing what sort of impact it's going to be. So Agri-SA issued a report, I think, on Friday that indicated their modeling of the implications that is actually much less than was initially modeled. So you kind of have to literally go into the detail. The IDC has been working to get to impact at a firm level. And even when you get to impact at a firm level, it's not as if you're going into firms that only export into the US market. You literally have to go to the firm and determine what percentage of your product is impacted by this, what percentage of that product you can still get into the US market, notwithstanding the 30%, to then be able to determine what the impact would be. So drawing a straight line, I think, has been a mistake that we've all made over the past few months.
The ministers say under the leadership of the presidency, DIRCO, and the DTIC, there's significant inroads into new high-growth markets across Asia and the Middle East, including the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Ambassador Xolelwa Mlumbi-Peters of the DTIC says intra-Africa trade remains a priority. South Africa is looking at fast-tracking the implementation of the AfCFTA, including resolving the outstanding issues and markets that are open for South Africa to take advantage of.
We already have markets that are open for South Africa to take advantage of, and we've seen a rise in exports through the AfCFTA. Between February and July, our exports to through the AfCFTA have reached over 1 billion rands. So you can see that a lot of our exporters are taking advantage of the new market access opportunities.
The tariffs will be implemented on the 8th of August at 12:01 a.m. However, goods loaded onto vessel before this date and time will remain subject to the 10% tariff. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.